Oh, we'll keep the time, inshallah. We'll get started. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. First and foremost, we would like to start with the name of Allah and Salat ala Rasul, because with these two, there is barakah in any setting that you have. Any setting that you have, or any class that you have, or any gathering that you have, and the name of Allah is mentioned, and Salat ala Rasul is mentioned, this is to bring about barakah. This is to bless this gathering, so that whatever information that is offered, or any information that is learned, is accepted, hopefully, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we would like to briefly talk about the importance of learning. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised those who have knowledge. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Verily, those who fear Allah truly are the ones who are scholars. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised scholars as well in the beginning of Surah Al Imran, when he talks about some of the verses or some of the ayat that are mutashabih, that may be conspicuous. And he said, وَمَا يَعْلَمُ تَأْوِيلَهُ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. That the understanding of these unclear ayat are known by Allah and by those who have sound knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ said, مَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ عِلْمًا سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ بِهِ طَرِيقًا إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. Whomsoever takes on a path to seek knowledge, that Allah Azza wa Jal will make it easy for that person to enter Jannah. Now, the ahadith that encourage knowledge, it's encouraging knowledge of deen. It's encouraging knowledge of deen. How do we know this? We know this because the knowledge of dunya, the various sciences of dunya, are sciences that people need in their everyday lives. These types of sciences, they may or may not take you to Jannah, depending on the intention that you have when learning or teaching or using this knowledge. But the knowledge of deen, it's very unlikely for a person to learn the knowledge of deen unless they are seeking the pleasure of Allah. Al-Hasan al-Basri, no, not Al-Hasan al-Basri, excuse me, Al-Fudayl ibn Iyad, may Allah have mercy on him, said that we began to learn knowledge because we wanted this dunya. Various manasib, or positions in government or whatnot. We used to seek knowledge because we wanted this dunya. But the more knowledge we got, the knowledge turned us to al-akhirah. So we began to seek al-akhirah with the knowledge that we learned. One of the most basic places to start when learning the deen of Allah is to learn Arabic. The reason why we're learning Arabic is because the Quran was revealed in Arabic, given to an Arab prophet, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, given to Arab people, and the prophet was an Arab. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Arabic for his Quran, for his book, for his words, we in turn learn Arabic. And the best reason to learn Arabic is so that you can understand the Quran and the Sunnah. My goal in this class is not necessarily for you all to learn how to speak Arabic fluently. However, I want you all to be able to understand, recognize various Arabic words and sentences when you look at them, when you see them. Okay? Now, the more you practice, the better you get at it. If you practice speaking, having a conversation, you're going to get better at speaking. If you practice looking at the words, memorizing the words, using the words, finding the words in the Quran, finding the words in the Sunnah, you'll get better at that. Whatever you practice, that's what you're going to get better at. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm going to take this class in segments. After each segment is probably going to be about 5 to 6 minutes. After each segment, I'll open the floor for questions, inshallah. And we'll go from there. I assume because everyone is on the WhatsApp group, everyone has the Medina book. Is that accurate? So the book of which I speak is here. I'm looking for it myself. You guys have this book? Yes? Okay, keep the book closed, please. Does everyone have a notebook? All right. So the first thing that I want to cover, and make sure you guys are taking notes, the first thing I want to cover is the concept of words in Arabic. Because every sentence contains words. So let's talk about, first of all, the concept of words. Can you close the book? There's a drift. There's a drift. Right. So the concept of words in Arabic. Generally speaking, there are 3 kinds of words in Arabic. The first kind of word is what is known as ism, and you can write that down.
Sheikh Abdullah.
Alif, Sin, Mim.
Luckily, no, it has been heard.
Hey, Sheikh Abdullah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can we just can you just mention some etiquettes with Zoom? So just stay muted unless you're called upon. So lots of people are unmuted and we can hear things in the background, inshallah. So it's not too distracting.
Jazakallahu khairan. Yeah, stay muted or you will be kicked out. How about that?
You have the power to mute, Sheikh.
So please stay muted. Jazakumullahu khairan. So in Arabic, there are 3 kinds of words. The first kind of word is what's known as ism. Okay? The second kind of word is what's known as fi'l. And I'll write that in Arabic. Fi'l. Ismun. Fi'lun. And the third kind of word is what's known as harfun. Three kinds of words. And this is a very general categorization. Okay? Basically, ism is a noun. Now, this is a very basic translation, but I just want to give you an understanding of what's going on. Ism is basically a noun. Fi'l is basically a verb. Harf is basically a particle. Ism, fi'l, harf. These are the three kinds of words that you'll find in Arabic. Any word that you ever see or hear in Arabic is going to be one of these three. Any word that you see or hear in Arabic is going to be one of these three. All right. Once we got that out the way, I'm going to give a very basic understanding of ism. All right. Ism. What is ism? They say that ism is, let me type this. An independent word without connection to tense. So as we all know, in English, a noun is a person, place, or thing. Something you can see, something you can touch, something that you can describe. This is a noun as understood in the English language. But when we're talking about the Arabic nahu or the Arabic grammar, ism is an independent word. And this word has no connection to a tense. When I say independent word, I mean that in order for you to understand the word, all you need to do is hear it. It's not dependent upon another word for you to understand what it means. Okay, I'll explain further. An example of an independent word, of a noun, is going to be Muhammadun. Qalamun. Let's put the Muhammadun. Qalamun. Kitabun. Darsun. Independent word without connection to a tense. So Muhammadun, if you say Muhammadun, this word indicates a person that has the name Muhammad. And this word has no connection to a tense. You can't claim that it's past tense or present tense or future tense. It's no tense. It's just a word that has a meaning. Qalamun is a word that indicates or gives the meaning of something that you write with. And this word is independent, whereas it doesn't need another word for you to understand its context or what this word means, and it's not connected to any time, any tense. Kitabun is a word that is independent. It doesn't need another word for you to understand what it means. This word indicates something that you pick up and read, or something that you can write in a book. It
Question.
has no connection to a tense.
Question, Sheikh. If you,
Darsun, the same. So I was about to open the floor for questions. So go ahead.
Afwan. So if you just say pen, so in English, does not always have, because if I just say pen, isn't it the same as saying pen in Arabic? You know,
Pen what?
like for what's the difference in English? Does it always have to be does the noun have to always have an association?
So then that's the thing. So English, for the reason why it's the different from the concept of a noun in English is because ism in Arabic, for example, maridun, sick, right? That's a noun in Arabic. That's an ism. But in English, it's an adjective. Right? So the concept of noun is not the same. Because now it's a description. Does that make sense? So even in Arabic, descriptions are nouns, are asma. Listen, yeah, go ahead. Ahmed Maziyad.
Yeah. So the concept of any word in the Arabic language is one of these three. This is the same for the Quran?
The Quran is in Arabic, so bingo. Any more questions?
Tense. Can you elaborate on tense?
So tense is a time that something happened. Because a happening can be either associated with past or present or future. So this particular word has nothing to do, has no association innately with any kind of tense or time period. It's just a word.
So how is the time tied to the
Like tense. Can you give an example of tense association with name in English?
So tense, for example, I had lunch late today. Right? That's something that happened in the past. I am having class. That's now. I will go to bed in an hour. That's future. So the word Muhammad or kitab or qalam has no association with time. I'm not talking about a sentence. I'm not talking about a composition. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about a full sentence, a complete thought. I'm talking about a word. Okay?
So Muhammad ate or Muhammad
That's different.
in Arabic, how do you say?
Forget about that right now. Muhammad ate, Muhammad drank. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm talking about the concept of ism. Okay? The concept of ism. When I say ism, what do I mean? Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you please repeat the meaning of the fail?
The
Exact
meaning of
word.
what?
Yes.
Say that again, please.
Can you repeat the meaning of verb or failun? I mean, what I mean is the meaning, you told the meaning, but I was not able to get it. You know, the sentence, the way you told the meaning of ism, an independent word without connection to a tense.
Yeah.
So can you please repeat the meaning of say?
Independent word means that it doesn't need another word. So when we say independent word, this is to eliminate particles. Because the only way for you to understand the meaning of a particle is if it's connected to another word. And an example of that is right. The computer is on the desk as opposed to I'm sitting on the plane. Computer is on the desk. On here means on top of. I'm sitting on the plane. On here means inside. So with context, the word changed. Okay. Or if I just say on by itself, it doesn't really carry much meaning. You're not really saying anything. But if I say Muhammad, you understand that there's a person that has this name Muhammad. Qalam, you understand that this is a writing utensil. So an independent word. This independent word has no connection to a tense, meaning it's not associated with time. It's not past, it's not present, it's not future. Moving on to fi'l. The next type of word is fi'l. Fi'lun. What is a fi'l? I'll type it for you. The definition is identical. An independent word that is connected to a tense. Kind of messed up with the writing there. Sorry about that. So fi'l is of three types. فعل ماض فعل مضارع فعل أمر. So, as in English, there are different tenses. But the English tenses are very complex. For those of you who know, they're crazy. You have the present, you have the simple, you have the continuous, and you have the perfect in English. So the simple is either past, present, or future. The continuous, past, present, future. The perfect, past, present, future. So that's a whole bunch of tenses. And I dare any of you to tell me what the meaning of perfect is. I have completed my work, as opposed to I completed my work. What's the difference? Anyway, Arabic, there are three tenses. Madi, fi'lun madin, which means the past. Fi'lun mudari'un, which means either present or future. Fi'lun madin, which means the past. Fi'lun mudari'un, which either is present or the future. Fi'lu amrin, which is a command. Or a request. A command is a request anyway. But because sometimes this request is a command, they count 8 or 9 kinds of request. So all 9 types of requests are, you use fi'l amr for all 9 kinds of request. طيب. So again, very basic. I don't want to get into too much details, but I want you guys to keep this concept in mind as we're learning, and we will get more explanation as we go through the text, inshallah ta'ala. You guys have any questions? Can we move on to harf? No questions? Yeah.
So you said like fi'lun amri or fi'lun amrin?
Fi'lu amrin.
Or you said amri. What's the difference?
We'll get there.
Okay.
But right now, just say fi'lu amrin.
Fi'lu amrin.
You may want to write a note for that question and ask me that question, I think maybe next week, inshallah, because we'll be on it. Okay, so let's move on to harf. The next or the last type of word, and I'll write it in blue, is harf. Harfun. It's a particle, but they say how they define it is a word that needs another to be I mean, of course, there are linguistic meanings for each of the words, but I'm not getting into the linguistic meaning. I'm just getting into what the grammarians define these words as. And examples of a harf would be fi, ala, kaf, la, la'alla, kayfa, not kayfa, kayfa is not harf. Kalla. If you have any questions, let me know. So I'm going to assume this is clear. So as we're going through the text, I will be checking, inshallah. All right. Going back to where we started, هذا and ذلك. In this book, you will be seeing a lot of vocabulary items. I expect everyone memorizes these vocabulary words and remembers them. In Arabic, there are two types of sentences, and this is, again, very general. Two types of sentences. The first kind of sentence is jumlatun. Jumla means sentence. Ismiyyah. The second type of sentence is jumlatun fi'liyah. Very simple. An ism sentence. Second kind is a fi'l sentence. Jumla ismiyyah, jumla fi'liyah. So be lazy. Very simple. How do you know it's jumla ismiya? It begins with a ism. How do you know it's jumla fi'liya? It begins with a fi'l. Very simple. What kind of sentence? Jumla ismiya. What kind of sentence? Jumla fi'liya. How do you know? It began with a fi'l. How do you know? It began with an ism. Very simple. All right, so keep your notes close and let's look at the text, inshallah. All right. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الدرس الأول. هذا. Can somebody tell me what the meaning of هذا is?
This.
This. Mustafiz al-Rahman. Jazakallahu khairan. Very simple, very basic. Usually, or depending on the language that you're learning, in a book for language, they start with greetings. How do you introduce yourself? How do you ask someone their information? How do you ask for directions? And so on and so forth. In this text, it's introducing you to some nouns and telling you how do you tell someone what something is. How do you tell someone what something is? Very basic. Jumla ismiyyah. Ism sentences. Begin with an ism, end with an ism. Begin with an ism, end with an ism. Right. هذا بيت. هذا مسجد. هذا باب. هذا كتاب. هذا قلم. هذا مفتاح. هذا مكتب. هذا سرير. هذا كرسي.
A question.
Yeah, what's the question? Keep yourself on mute because there's an echo. What's the question?
So, Jumla ismiyyah, it begins with a noun. Does it have to end with noun? Or the rule is it must begin with noun?
So the question is, Jumla ismiyyah, does it have to end with a noun in order for it to stay Jumla ismiyyah? Or does it just begin with a noun? The answer is, Jumla ismiyyah begins with a noun. Sometimes it ends in a noun. Sometimes it ends in a verb. It doesn't always end in a noun.
So these examples they're given.
There's no verb.
Okay.
No fi'l.
No fair. They just give an example. This is just example. Okay.
These are Jumla ismiyyah. All right. All of you speak English. If I was speaking to you and I said to you, this phone, this house, this computer, this my smile. The first thing that's going to come to your mind is this guy needs to learn English.
Over the board, though.
La ilaha illallah. But what most English speakers don't realize is English is a handicap language. There's no reason to say is. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Just like the word doesn't make sense. Why can't I just say, I not know? Why do I have to say do not? What's the point? I am Abdullah. Why do I have to say am? Just I, Abdullah. Why am? What's the point of that word? I mean, like, really? No, I'm afraid you guys are going to go to work tomorrow and forget how to speak English.
So if you tell your wife, if you say I love, and you don't say you got some serious issues, brother.
So in a ism sentence or jumla ismiyyah, we don't have a verb. There's no verb. There's no verb be. The verb to be is understood. هذا بيت. It is understood that this has the being of a house. Okay. هذا مسجد. What's understood is this has a being of a masjid. It's not said, it's understood. Okay. Another thing that is important in the English language is that if you have a singular noun, a singular indefinite noun, you have to say a before it or an. So if I said to you, this is phone, and this is finger, and this is cabinet, you're like, man, maybe he didn't learn English well. He needs to learn these articles, a and an. A cabinet, a finger, a phone. But in Arabic, there's a different indicator for that. And this kind of partially answers your question, Ahmed Mazid. Partially, not fully, partially. Of the tun. See that tun at the end? At this moment, at this point in time, it's taking the place of a in English. هذا بيت. هذا مسجد. هذا باب. هذا كتاب. هذا قلم. هذا مفتاح. هذا مكتب. هذا سرير. هذا كرسي. So, in a nutshell, and you guys write this down. In a nutshell, if you would like to attribute an ism to another ism, just say both isms. If you would like to attribute an ism to another ism, just say both isms. If you would like to attribute one ism to another ism, just say both isms. An example, Ahmadu talibun. Ahmad, student. Ahmad, student. Ahmadu طالب. محمد أو محمد طبيب. أنا عبد الله. Just say the two nouns. You guys have any questions? Ahmed Mazid.
So how would you say Ahmed's pen? How would you say Ahmed's pen?
What's the English sentence?
Alimun Ahmed.
What's the English sentence?
This is Ahmed's pen.
Okay, so there are three ideas that you're cramming into this sentence. The first idea is this, something that is close to you. The second idea is belonging. The third idea is pin. Or we can say 4 ideas. Number 1 is something that is close to you. Number 2 is that it's a pin. Number 3 is that it's belonging to someone. And number 4, that it's belonging to Ahmed. These are 4 ideas.
I was just trying to see if I understood the concept of just saying both isms.
Right. So you want one idea. Attribute one idea, one noun to another noun.
Correct. The pen and Ahmed.
Right. But what's the relationship? So you're trying to say Ahmed is a pen?
No.
You would say Ahmadu qalamun. Because that's one idea that you're attributing to one person or to one thing. Very simple. Not compound ideas, just one idea.
So the noun.
Does that make sense, Ahmed?
I think so.
So Ahmed Kalibun means Ahmed's pen, or Ahmed is a pen?
So if it's just one idea, you're going to say Ahmed is a pen. But I don't think that's reality.
So when you are attributing a noun to another noun, for example, when you say Ahmed Taliban, so the other noun, the Talib noun, it has to be like either proficient or something. Right? You can't say, for example, I cannot say Ahmed Muhammad. Right?
Yeah, you can say that. Ahmadu Muhammadun. So his name is Ahmed and his name is also Muhammad. Or I used to think he was Ahmed, but then I found out that he was Muhammad. Ahmadu Muhammadun.
So just attribute the noun to the noun. Ahmed Talibun, Ahmed Tabibun,
Ahmad Muhammadun Jalisun Muhammadun.
But Jalis is not noun.
What is it? What is an ism? For those who were paying attention, what is an ism?
Noun.
Huh?
A noun.
Nope.
No, it's not related to tense.
It's
A word independent.
word, not related to a tense.
Right.
So if I say Ahmadu Jalisun, Jalisun means sitting.
It's not found.
Right? It's now it's an ism because it's a word, it's independent, and it's not related to a tense. Because you can say Jalisun Amsi, Jalisun al-yawma, Jalisun ghadan. Sitting yesterday, sitting tomorrow, sitting today. Depending on what tense you connect it to, that's the tense it's going to be connected to. But if it's not, then it isn't.
So you can say an ism is person, place, or thing, or it's just the exact what do you call it? Description is a word without tense.
So ism is person, place, and thing, but more than that. So it encompasses more than just a person, place, or thing. Okay, you have a question? No?
No, I don't have a question. Sorry.
All right. So the first lesson is hada.
Sheikh, sorry to interrupt. When you say Jalisun, wouldn't that become, you're saying it could be past, present, whatever, then it will become a verb?
So the sitting, for example, the ing verb in English, the ing verb, sitting, standing, walking, reading, right? The ing verb. It can be past, it can be present, it can be future. something that is happening. Now, this happening, was it happening in the past? Is it happening at the moment? Or will it be happening in the future? Well, that's going to depend on what tense you put it with. So jalisun, this is called ism fa'il. I don't want to get too deep into this because I don't want to confuse everyone. But this is what's called ism fa'il. Ism fa'il literally means the name of the doer, which is the action being done, which is the present tense, the continuous verb, the ing verb. Now this ing verb, depending on what time you put it in, that's the time frame is going to be in. But by itself, it's not attributed to any time. If we say I am sitting, that's now. I will be sitting, that's in the future. I was sitting, that's in the past. Does that make sense, Abu Hamza?
Naam. Shukran.
So very basic. I'm not getting into like complex sentences and complicated things. Very basic. Attribute a noun to another noun, say both nouns. You want an example? Look at the book. هذا بيت. هذا مسجد. هذا باب. هذا كتاب. هذا قلم. هذا مفتاح. هذا مكتب. هذا سرير. هذا كرسي. Going down, if we can go down. Yep, we can go down. There are questions here. ما هذا؟ هذا بيت. هذا بيت. نعم هذا بيت. Same. So what I would want you all to do for next week, in the group, if Aqil, you can send them one more time in the group, the WhatsApp group. This book is present. There's also a key for the answers. And there's also the translation. Okay. The most important part that I want you guys to know is the vocabulary. Remember that the vocabulary items are the meaning of these words. And what we talked about, the different 3 types of words, and the 2 types of sentences, okay, and the concept of is and a. That's it. Not too much, inshallah. Are there any questions?
Are those the concept of the words that you described? Are they in this text as well? Is there some reference text?
They'll come later.
They'll come later. Okay.
So the notes that you took are valuable. They'll help you throughout, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Jazakallah for all your teaching. I missed the initial 10-15 minutes, so you may have already answered it. But so what I gathered, like 2 type of sentences, you said it's one is jumla ismun and the other is jumla fa'il. So jumla ismun has to start with an ism, but when you haza kalamun, the haza is this, which is a pronoun. So like it's not a noun, but so I don't know whether you have explained it already, but if it's starting with a pronoun, it's still jumla ismun.
So I'm going to test Maaz. Can you answer that question, please, Maaz?
Yeah, can you repeat the last part of it?
The last part of your question, Yasser Jamal.
So if, Jumla ismun is, Sheikh said that it start with an ism.
Yeah.
So these all examples like haza baitun or haza masjidun, it is starting with haza, which means this, which in English is a pronoun. Like which
This,
is
In Arabic, it is ismun. Ismun
it is a
ishara.
noun.
so no, and he introduced it as
Rahman,
basically
give
a
us a chance.
noun, but the definition of Islam is an independent word without a connection to a tense. So you wouldn't like relate it to like an English noun completely.
Did you
Is that
understand?
what you're trying to
Yes.
ask, or?
Yeah, I joined 15 minutes late. Yeah.
Did you understand what Maaz just said?
No, I did not.
Say that one more time, Maaz.
So right, so you're trying to relate it to the like an English noun, right? Hadha. You're trying to relate that to an English noun, but when he first introduced it, it's basically a noun, not like 100% a noun, but it's a noun in the sense that it's an independent word without a connection to a tense, like past, present, or future. So like any word that you don't have to say like I can't say the word run, right? I have to say like he ran, or he's gonna run tomorrow, or he's running right now. But another type of word, an ism word, would be a word that that's not attached to like a past, present, or future. But if you missed the first 15 minutes, there was like 3 types of words he went over, like ism, fi'l, and harf. I mean, I have that first page of notes. I can just send it.
It's reassuring, Mr. Maaz, that you are paying attention. Jazakallah khairan. So basically, ism is not noun.
Okay.
That's a wrong translation. Yeah, it kind of gives you the concept, but it isn't accurate. Ism is an independent word without connection to a tense. So
I get it. Okay.
Ism in Arabic is very broad.
Got it.
All right.
All right. Jazakallah khair.
Ameen wa iyyak. Any more questions?
An adjective is also ism, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
An adjective is also ism. Part of ism. Group of ism.
Yeah. Adjectives are ism. Adjectives are ism. Asma. Any questions? Of course, I'm going to ask you guys to do the exercises in the book. And for lesson 1, inshallah. Should be easy. If there's no questions, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in our time, to bless us to be better servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bless us to be more humble with knowledge, and that He does not make this knowledge a means of arrogance and pride. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our sins and accept our good deeds. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Sheikh Abdullah, how many lessons are there? It looks like it keeps going. Which ones? Just
keep going.
Just go as far as we can.
I'm looking at, so it looks like 23.
Page 23.
23. So hopefully 23 weeks we should be done. I want to just do one lesson a day.
No, that's what I mean for next week. No, I mean for next week, you said do
The tamarin, the exercise.
yeah, that's what, oh, I see, okay. Oh, the lessons are all numbered, right, at the top, okay, I see, all right.
And then we submit over the WhatsApp, Sheikh, or how do you?
So I don't think that I will go over each and every one's exercise, but what I will do is go over them all together as a group. So you make corrections where needed.
Okay.
Someone is asking a question.
You gotta stay on mute, brother Muhammad Aigal. What'd you say? Muhammad Aigal, what'd you say?
Somebody was asking a question.
Yeah, I just saw the question. How many pages? So that's going to be page number, this page number 7, page number 8, page number 9, 10. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 9. And 11. So 8, 9, and 11. Let me see, 9, 8, 7, 8, 9, and 11. 7, 8, 9, and 11. Now, if you're having trouble at any time, you're having trouble with one of these words, with one of the exercises, send a message on the WhatsApp group. You'll get a response. That's why the WhatsApp group was created, for these types of conversations.
Yeah, Sheikh, somebody asked me the question, are these lectures recorded?
Am I what?
Are these lectures recorded?
I see it is getting recorded.
I'm recording it, yes.
Okay, great. So is there a way that you can post it?
There is a way.
All right.
Where there's a will, there's a way, brother.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياتك.